Welcome to Wellness 360 Georgia.
There are more places to prescribe drugs. Consciousness, our innate humanness, and connectedness. And this is an intelligent system. They are trying to help us, and they are usually working hard to stay healthy or improve. Our body has deep wisdom how to restore itself. So for instance, balance. When I came back from United States, I had my favorite ashwagandha, because I do not believe that the industrial medical system will change anytime soon, because there is lots of corporate capital behind that.
My name is Ksenia, and I'm happy to welcome you to my new YouTube channel, Wellness 360 Georgia. For the past 16 years, I have been living in Georgia in the heart of the mountainous Svaneti region. This place has become my home, and I have always wanted to share its beauty with those who, like me, appreciate nature, harmony, and health. I created this channel to introduce you to the incredible healing treasures of Georgia. Since ancient times, this land has been famous for its natural resources that help maintain health and longevity. The Caucasus has always been known for its centenarians, and today, Georgia is also emerging as one of the leading destinations for medical tourism. People from all over the world come here for high-quality treatment, relaxation, and recovery. That's why I want to tell you about modern medicine in Georgia, the best wellness resorts, hidden natural gems, and the secrets of this remarkable country. I invite you on this exciting journey together with my guests. I will do my best to make every episode valuable and inspiring. I ask for your support in this project. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share the video so that more people can learn about it. I'm always open to dialogue, so feel free to leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments. Welcome to Georgia and to my channel.
Welcome to Wellness 360 Georgia. This is a place where your journey to future health, mindful life starts with amazing people from Georgia. And today my guest is Dr. Lasha Jakeli. Lasha, hello.
Hello.
Can you briefly explain what are you doing in your life to maybe improve this world and improve the life of your patients and people who are with you?
Tanya, first of all, thank you for having me. The idea to start Mindori conceived in US when I realized that as a physician I was not bringing kind of impact to my patients' lives that I aspired to bring. So gradually I became disillusioned with conventional medicine, and I asked myself, how would I help these people if my salary in industrial medical complex was not dependent on it? Like if they were my family members, how would I approach their healing? And slowly when I researched it, I arrived to my own philosophy into what real health means, and eventually I quit my medical job, returned in Georgia, and started all over. And this was how Mindori was conceived, with a heartfelt desire to help people move towards health and wellness in a non-fragmented way, in a whole, humane, and conscious way.
Okay, amazing. And how long you've been in US? So you moved from Georgia to America to graduate as a neurologist, and then you decide to switch your specialization. Why it was, and how long you've been in America?
So I started out in neurology here in Georgia, and I've been preparing for United States medical licensure exams, which is the exam that we doctors take who want to practice medicine in US. So I started out in neurology here and then continued my medical residency in US. Did a year there in New Orleans, and I didn't like it. So I didn't imagine myself practicing in that setting for a long time. So then I thought myself, okay, maybe I want to switch to psychiatry with the hope that psychiatry would be more non-fragmented and more humane when it comes to helping people. And I actually switched to psychiatry, which is really risky move for someone, especially a foreigner in US, because when you're on visa, there are many challenges. And I switched to a psychiatry and changed cities completely. And 6 months into the residency, I realized that it was the same trap. So I wasn't fulfilled. Every day I would wake up and tell myself, Lasha, another day to waste. I wasn't living from a place of aspiration or joy or purpose. And I actually wrote a book about it. It's called Disillusioned Physician, Reclaiming Freedom, Purpose, and Joy. And I tell my story how it was, how I arrived at a point where I had to decide, am I going to pick up the phone and answer my calling to help people the way I imagine, or continue basically wasting my life doing what I do not believe in? Because every day I would see patients come in, and when I would look at their charts, medical history, I would see that they came in with just one problem, and over the years they became progressively more ill. And we doctors are taught that the reason why people do not improve or get worse is because they do not trust doctors. And then I had one patient who came to me and said, Dr. Jakeli, I'm feeling like my body is breaking down. I have diabetes. I have anxiety. I do not sleep at night. I have chronic fatigue, lack of energy. And I feel like if I do not change anything, I will die soon. And I actually recommended a book to that person. And at that time, my duty was to increase dosages of medications, put her on various different new medications, and I didn't do any of that. I recommended the book, believing that this was what her mind and body needed in order to really improve. But I told her that I cannot really put that in the chart, because if I do, I might get fired. And I actually scribbled that the name of the book on the paper and broke off the paper and handed it to her. And in 6 months,
so you even can spell it, yeah? That just read a book, please.
Yes.
Will help.
Yeah, and I scribbled on the paper because it was that
secret information.
Yeah, and I could not put that in her history that I recommend a book when I had to increase the dosage of medications. But I knew that I could not help her. I could not save her life just increasing the dosages of medications, because the problem was something else. The problem was her metabolic illness, which was multi-layered problem. And in 6 months, she tells me that she sends me a thank you letter, which ironically entire hospital administration sign. Which if they truly understood how I helped her, they might have fired me. And I didn't really like that. I had a sense that I was carrying the suffering and pain of my patients, and it was making me sick as well. And my deep-seated belief is that you cannot really help someone if you do not practice what you preach. So if you're a smoker and you are talking to your patients about quitting smoking, and they see you smoke, they will not change their behavior, because even though you are technically right, the advice that you give is right. So smoking is dangerous for their health. But
they are looking at you and...
Yeah, we humans like to model behavior. So if we see our doctor not doing what he preaches, it's not going to change anyone's behavior. So I was progressively getting sick myself, And
I was not happy. When you are sick and unhappy, you couldn't share with the patients your energy and give
100%.
them advice.
Yes.
So at this moment, you understand that modern medicine separate people from body, from mind, etc. So modern doctors and who even finished a lot of courses and university, they also don't understand how our body works. Yes?
Yes, and it's explicitly designed that way because it wasn't always like that. This fragmentation and differentiation of so many fields, it's something that industrial medical complex did. It's behind that there are big corporations who have their agendas to sell medications, basically, and the way they structured education is to increase the likelihood that they sell these drugs, sell these medications and devices. And fragmentation model is profitable for that because the more you fragment someone, there are more places to prescribe drugs. So more fragmented someone is, there is more administration or more place to recommend some medication. Versus if you say that, if you apply like Pareto principle and say that what is like a 20% of interventions that determine 80% of my health, right? Which is more clever systematic thinking. Then you don't have that many answers. So if you don't have that many answers, it's not profitable that much, right? So the reason why medical industry went through fragmentation model and reductionist model where they are pinpointing to a single organ or single receptor because they have so many medications and so many devices. And essentially, you can squeeze value from a person like to I don't know what degree, because you can fragment someone to, you have like eye health, you have brain health, you have skin health, you have thyroid health, you have heart health, vessel health, liver health, and you can fragment someone at the level of organs, at the level of cells, at the level of I don't know what. And so more you fragment someone in that model, more interventions you can solve them. So unfortunately, this doesn't work because our mind and body do not sync in that way. Our mind and body are always together. I would actually go farther and argue that we shouldn't say mind and body because it's one
person,
system.
one system. Yeah.
Mind is body and body is mind.
Yes.
Everything is happening in our conscious experience, and the way the conventional medicine works is they reduce everything to matter. Like you are just body, and the quality of a
just
physician.
Function.
Yes, and quality of a physician is really measured how you understand the body. And I realized that the qualitative experience, what we feel internally, is something that's subjective. I think that's even more important or more consequential when it comes to human health.
I agree with you, but from the other hand, people, like person who want to be health and he want to get this health very fast. I have a pain, headache, for example, and I just want to take one medicine which help me just continue my everyday life. I don't want to think about my, childhood, about my problems with my understanding of something, with my family, my husband, my children. Just give me one medicine and I will be happy. So from the one hand, pharma and corporation and also this health system. From the other hand, people who don't want to be mindful, who don't want to be even health, because it's some kind of manipulation also. You don't feel, so if you are health, if you are full of energy, you must do something.
Yes.
Maybe change this world, because if you have this energy, it's not just for you, it's for sharing with people.
Yes.
And if you don't share with people, Like in my case, for example, I have 4 kids and everybody asking me from what you have so many energy and time. And I said, maybe someone create me as a person with a lot of energy. And
Yes.
if I don't use this energy right way, probably I will ill and I will be broken inside. So
Yes.
we have a different, I would say, point which we need improve, and we have different point we need to use to change our life.
Yes.
So patients also responsible for their health, life, etc. And this is, I think, now a big problem also. What do you think about this?
100%. So actually, the goal of Mindori, the kind of philosophy that I follow and recommend, is really understanding that we make decisions every day to maintain our health or become healthier. So I fundamentally believe that health is a skill, like learning a musical instrument. So if we outsource that skill blindly to doctors, we will always lose. We will always go towards sickness.
Even if it's a good doctor.
Even if it's a good
Yes.
doctor, because even if they have good intentions, and I think most doctors have good intentions, they want to help people, it's just like the wrong assumption, because you are the one who is making decisions every day, and unless you're operating from a right knowledge, you will inevitably fall ill, because you need to know what creates health.
Health, yes. And even decision take any
Yes.
of, supplements, vitamins is also your decision.
100%.
A doctor can give you advice. You
Yes.
can explain people that if you will take 1 or 3 times a day this,
Yes.
it help you change something. But then you can make decision. I don't want to buy this.
Yes.
I don't believe it.
Yes.
And how you feel believing and knowing something helps us to be healthier. So if I believe it helped me, it will helps me. What do you think? It really works better, or
Yes.
it's not depend on our feeling and our believing?
Yes, so I do not prescribe medications as a doctor anymore, but I do recommend health supplements to my patients, to our clients. That is because we do not live in perfect world. Our food is not perfect. So there is a huge difference between, let's say, a health supplement or a dietary supplement and medication, right? And if someone doesn't have a perfect diet, and what perfect diet is,
I
I
think
also
no,
have a
no one.
Yeah.
No one. It's not possible.
Yeah,
to have.
usually I recommend to help or support your body, support your physiology, because our minds and bodies are intelligent. This is an intelligent system. They are trying to help us, and they are usually working hard to stay healthy or improve. Our body has deep wisdom how to restore itself. Really, it knows how to restore itself. We just need to create right environments in order self-restoration processes to take place. And I think when it comes to belief, it's really a contract like someone makes with themselves. I believe that, I will stick to that, and at the end of the day, it has to happen at the level of identity. Because if someone doesn't operate from identity, it will always be with force, and it will always require willpower, and it will be short-lived. In order true health to take place, it has to be a byproduct of who you are. And in Mindori, the way we designed our system is that, so let's say health supplements is the first contract, right? And next contract, at some point, it has to be education. It has to be knowledge, and it has to be identity level transformation. Because if someone does not change their knowledge, change their worldview, how they view themselves or the world, how they live in this world truly, if whether they are aligned with nature, how they connect with others. If they do not change that, and if they do not operate from a better worldview that is more conducive to health, nothing's going to change.
Yes, it's true. So why your brand called Mindori? Mindori in Georgia, it's Georgian word, and it's mean like field. Yes.
Yes.
So it's like nature. Yeah.
Yes.
What the meaning of this? I understand that it's place filled with a different kind of flowers, herbs, and natural energy which you can use for you. So you can watch. You can smell, you can lie on the grass and relax. Yes. So for me, it's something very powerful, even this word. So can you explain a little bit more about conception of your brand Mindori and meaning of this word and why just these 5 type of supplement, let's call it supplement.
Yes.
Yeah, just explain a little bit more about this also.
Sure. First of all, I love the word Mindori. Mm-hmm. It is associated with freedom, return to childhood innocence, childhood joy, and connectedness to this universe, to planet Earth. It has a really grounding feeling to me.
Yes.
And that's how I understand human health. For me, 3 words that come to my mind when I think about health and well-being is consciousness, our innate humanness, and connectedness. Mm-hmm. Because the place that I come from, my education as a doctor, it's very reductionist. Like we are biochemistry, and we are just matter. Bunch of genes or bunch of molecules. And when I examined it closely, it wasn't true, because we humans are ever-evolving organisms, and we are always in touch with our environment, and we are meant to be connected to the nature, meant to thrive in nature, and Mindori has that meaning to me, return to your self, truly. Return to your true self.
True self, yeah. Yes. Amazing. So why these 5 supplements and complex? Yeah, some of them not just one supplement, yeah?
Yes. So my framework for developing supplements, health supplements, is, first of all, I have to believe it. I have to have...
Use it
myself.
Yes.
And then I recommend to others. Mm-hmm. So I'm really careful with our formulas, ingredients, dosages. I read a lot of scientific papers, and I'm really careful. So we've been doing this past 2 years, and I'm careful. And careful usually means slow as well. So,
by the way, it's the first Georgian supplement brand in the history, so you are a pioneer on this Mindori.
yes.
Yeah, it's amazing, and that's why I want to share with people every stories which stand behind
and I'm also proud to back it with my identity and face, because lots of people in this space generally do not want to show up, and back their own products. And the way I do this is to, I'm here, this is who I am, this is what I believe in, and this is what I offer. So
let's talk, maybe we start
NAD
from
plus.
NAD plus, because a lot of biohackers now, not only, of course, but I think it starts from the people who want to live longer, from longevity lovers, from biohackers, because it's something amazing.
Yes.
What can you explain? What is this? A super molecular, yeah?
Yes. So where to start? So my approach to developing health supplements is, so oftentimes, just to give you a anchor point to really understand how they generally work, is people when they make them, because I hired some consultants, and generally the way they make them is they look what people search, and I didn't want to follow that. I didn't want to follow that path. I wanted to make health supplements in harmony with our minds and bodies' deep intelligence, what they expect from us, in order to function properly. So we do not look at what's trending or what's in demand. We do not follow that, because our approach is completely different. And when it comes to NAD plus, the way we made our formula and how it's different is it's just sufficient help to our body's innate mechanisms. By that I mean metabolism, mitochondrial health. Ultimately, it really helps your cells to produce energy. We have mitochondria inside our cells, and it helps to produce more energy. And as we age, or if we do not have proper nutrition or lots of stress, our mitochondrial health might not be ideal. So we help that. We give our body the necessary precursors. We call them precursors in order the energy production to get optimized. And the same logic applies to other supplements. You are supporting, you are just creating right fertile ground for your body to restore itself.
Let's put it in this way. What mitochondria energy means for our human?
Yes, that's a good question. So it's usually on a first-person felt experience, it's more enthusiasm, more energy. Your cells can rejuvenate. So skin cells, eye cells, everything, brain cells, they have easier time rejuvenating themselves. It's an evolving science. We don't know many things yet, but it's just helping your body to restore itself. And our body knows how to heal or restore itself. So most people think that if I don't do anything from the outside, my body is doomed. No, our body has innate wisdom. It already knows how to restore itself. We just, if we just allow or enable our bodies to do its job.
Yes. So if we call restart or restore or also restart, so does it mean that it helps us become younger even from some point? Yeah. So we will be healthy, but also maybe more younger, because our cells, our metabolism will be faster. So when we become older, our body, our metabolism slower than in our young age. So if our metabolism works faster, does it mean we become younger in some way?
So that's a good question, because I do not think that biohackers truly understand this, because I think that our health is more than just supplements. And the reason why I follow mind and body kind of approach is because I believe that when it comes to whether we are young or not, or how fast we age, I think age takes place in our mind first, and then it affects our body. So our mind ages. We start playing roles of, I'm 30 years old male, or I'm 40 years old, or I'm 50,
oh my God,
60,
yeah.
now I change my behavior.
Yes.
Then I do not expect to eat healthy or exercise or, to have proper connections with others or with nature. And that's how our body fails. And it also has a really rhythmic and wave-like pattern, because it's not like, my aging is sped up, or I'm aging pretty quickly, or I'm aging slowly. It really can change. You can be 50 years old and slow down aging, and you can be 20 years old and speed up aging, depending how you live, how much stress you have, how you eat. It has many variables, really. And aging is really is a ever evolving metric. Aging is not something that oh, I'm going towards north or I'm going towards south. No, today I might be going towards north and tomorrow I might be going towards east. It really comes down to our decisions,
And what is your favorite? If it's
My-
possible to say
Yes,
about
yes,
your
yes.
kids, yeah, it's,
So I
this
think
product
that-
created by you.
Yeah, so the reason why I have this first 5 is something that everyone can take all the time, pretty much. And they do not interact with each other. And my favorites are balance and megalite. And the reason being that most people live in chronic stress. And this chronic stress, what it does to our mind and body, you can, if you have lived in chronic stress for many years, it gets stored in your body. It shuts down our physiology. And we have many physiological systems. And when our physiological systems shut down, that's where the symptoms emerge. A headache, tension, muscle tension, anxiety, lack of energy. The
Stomach
symptoms
function
usually are
also.
signals. They are not noise. Conventional medicine thinks that symptoms are noise. And we think in Mindori that symptoms are messengers.
Yes.
They are signals. They are telling you that something is shut down in your body. Something is not working properly as it's supposed to. Okay, so what we do with the supplements is we help to bring the body in its natural rhythm. But only supplements are not enough until you change. This is a first contract. It's a first contract towards the decision
Like first
to
help.
change my health.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a first help, initial.
To get more energy
yes,
and
yes.
to have more time to think how you can change your life, because it's not possible to change your life like switch, turn
Yes,
on,
yes.
and you start your
100%,
life. So
100%.
sometimes you even don't have energy for this, don't have enough motivation, and you don't have enough motivation because you don't have enough something
That's
in your
right.
body. It's difficult to say because it's very individual. But
That's
still.
right. These supplements are enablers of neuroplasticity and new kind of behaviors. At the end of the day, the health should go towards changing behavior and changing your identity. Otherwise, real transformative results cannot take place. And if someone lived in chronic stress and they have this stress stored in their body and mind, even if they reduce stress, because lots of people come to me and say that, oh, I tried psychotherapy, I tried meditation, yoga, all sort of things, and nothing gave me really transformative results. And I think there's a nuance to it, because it's almost like expecting if you are like a cook and you want to prepare some meal and you just buy ingredients and put them in a pot, they are not going to get prepared on their own, right? It has intelligence, it has nuance. And this nuance, yes, this nuance comes down to how you take it, how you change your behavior. It's a system. That's why I call it systematic approach, because we cannot really heal our heart in a vacuum. We are either towards healing our entire minds and body, or we are not doing anything towards our health. We are just like in denial, basically.
So the first step, let's start like practical recommendation for people. Let's start and let's say that first step is give enough food for your inner universe.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's give enough energy to change something.
Yes.
What next step? How we can start change our behavior? What could you advise, help people to change it? Because I think it's most difficult. If it's take supplement, it's easy. Just take it and drink with the water.
Yes.
Change your behavior or mindset. It's like
Yes,
sometimes
100%.
take years.
Yes. So just to give people practical tips that they can actually implement in their lives, my fundamental belief is that we need to be aligned with nature. And we have ancient DNA, and our DNA has a taste, what it likes and what it doesn't. And our ancestors were really connected to the nature. They were hunter-gatherers, and they would honor animals and they would feast on their hunt. basically. And I believe that the best human food is pasture-raised animals, be it a cow or a chicken, which is really hard to get, by the way. And we have some projects, actually. I think there's lots of problems to solve in
You
that
mean
regard.
a farming project?
Yes,
yeah?
yes. We do have a project, a plan, which is coming soon. We want to do we want to build a pasture-raised products, basically, be it grass-fed, grass-finished beef, or pasture-raised, free-range, organic, grain-free chicken and their eggs, because they are one of the best foods you can ever eat, right? And so this is the first step, to eat right kind of food that is nurturing for your mind and body. Because if you do not get the building blocks, even if you practice all kinds of mantras and meditations, nothing's going to change, because your body needs proper building blocks, right? And your body also wants not to be in the chronic inflammation and chronic stress.
Yes.
So you need to create right environment for your body to restore itself, to maintain your health, and it will affect your mind. The kind of thoughts that you have, whether your thoughts are positive or negative, your energy, enthusiasm, clarity, memory, concentration, all this is deeply linked to the body health, So this is the first step, to have like a foundation, which is like what you eat, because you eat daily, so you want to be eating proper food. So then you want to avoid toxins, You want to avoid toxins as much as you can. Ideally you want to be in touch with the sun, because I have a deep-seated belief that humans shouldn't be living on the poles, because there is a really lack of sun, basically, and sunlight. And our organisms, and generally all organisms, not only humans, living beings, they are systems that have been built with the sun. So sun is the main source of health, main source of life, and the processes, our neurohormonal processes, are really aligned with the rhythm of the sun. How you sleep, how deep you sleep, how your immune system functions, how well your body forms vitamin D. It has to do with the sun. So ideally, you have to be in touch with the sun. If you are not, you need to take vitamin D
in the morning and evening. Yeah, with when it's
yes. So
sun
it
is
has actually really interesting science and logic if you look into it. So you want to be in the sun in the right season, because not all seasons have equal amounts of UVB, because not all sunlights have capacity to help you synthesize vitamin D in your skin. So first, you want to be eating animal-based food, because it gives you cholesterol, and vitamin D comes from cholesterol. And when sun hits the skin, then this cholesterol breaks down and makes vitamin D. And so you want to be in the right season. Not all places have good amount of UVB, meaning that...
What is the right seasons?
So right season is...
Spring?
Yeah,
autumn?
spring, summer, it's good season to get exposure to the sun. And a quick tip, practical tip that I can give to the viewers is you need to look at your shadow. If your shadow is taller than you, that means that it's the time of the day where UVB isn't present. So if the shadow is shorter than you, that means that UVB is present and vitamin D synthesis takes place in your skin.
Okay,
so that's a really, really
Yeah.
crucial step. And also, you want to get exposure between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. because that's where UVB is in abundance. Okay, and then you want to get exposed with the visible skin, and you ideally shouldn't be wearing a sunscreen. And another interesting thing is that if you do not use seed oils, if you do not use food that is prepared in seed oils, which is also called vegetable oils, the myth of sun causing skin cancer, modern science really shakes that. That if people do not eat seed oils, it's arguable whether there is any link, at least to a degree where sun is beneficial to you. So you can get exposure to 20 to 30 minutes without any adverse side effects. And if you do not get exposure to the sun, you should be taking vitamin D, ideally 5,000 international units with vitamin K2. And you shouldn't have magnesium, boron, and zinc deficiency, by the way, because vitamin D is a hormone. It needs to get activated into a hormone, and in order to do its job, it needs to get transformed to a hormone in our body. And this transformation needs boron, zinc, and magnesium. And we also need K2. This is a tip for people who live close to poles or are mainly inside the office, or they just don't get exposure to the sun. They essentially need vitamin, okay? And old school doctors usually recommend it, pretty low dosages, but the absorption isn't ideal. Even if you use liposomal capsules that we use, absorption isn't ideal. So you need to account for that. So that's the reason why I recommend 5,000 units at least. If you do not have deficiencies, that's the maintenance dose. If you have deficiency, you will need to go higher, maybe 10, 20, and take it daily and recheck your labs in 3 months. And ideally, you have to be above 50. Like usually people are recommended, okay, 25, 30 is good. No, in order vitamin D to do its job, you need to be at least above 30 and ideally 50, even 60, in order to have full benefits. And benefits of vitamin D is mood boost, it helps your body, immune system, bones, and ideally it has to be with vitamin K2, not vitamin K1, which people have some reservations because K1 is a cofactor for blood clotting, but K2, its main job is to put calcium inside the bones. And if you take vitamin D without K2, all these calciums will go to soft tissues, and it will damage your vessels, your kidneys, your eyes, your brain, and everything, basically every soft tissue. So you want vitamin D with K2. Though this both act in synchrony.
And Georgia, from this point of view, very good place for living because we have a lot of sun, we have very good nature and a lot of places where you can spend to be close to the nature.
Yes.
Svaneti,
Amazing.
Kakheti even, Batumi, seaside.
Yes.
I don't know.
Very hard to get vitamin D deficiency in Georgia. Yes.
yes. So it's also a very good place to live here, but even if you are living here, sometimes you don't have enough sun because
100%.
most your life you spend in office
inside,
or job, in the car, etc.
And season isn't always right to get vitamin D from the sun, and vitamin D is the biggest hack people can make. And the reason why I have the type of supplements that we have is these are fundamental. We have megalite magnesium complex. It's two kind of forms, one for body, one for brain, because not all magnesiums make it to the brain. So bisglycinate and L-threonate. And balance is adaptogen complex. My favorite is balance because, as I told you, most people living chronic stress, they have stress stored in their bodies. Even if they reduce stress via meditation or yoga, the stress is still stored and their physiological systems are still shut down. So you need to take proper forms of adaptogen, which is, let's say, full profile ashwagandha root powders, not extracts. I'm not a big fan of KSM system. Then you have Siberian rhodiola, also great for reactivating your adaptation system. And EPA 500, omega-3, which is great for reducing inflammation and brain health. And vitamin D 5,000 with K2, MK7.
And is it vitamin supplements for Georgian market only, or it's also has enough? You have enough energy to bring these supplements to other countries.
Yes.
Can you share? Maybe it's your future plans also.
Yes, that's our plan to grow worldwide. First, we want to expand to United States, but at this point, we operate only in Georgia. There is a story on each one, how I created, and I am that meticulous when it comes to creating them. So, for instance, balance, when I came back from United States, I had my favorite ashwagandha, but there was some problem with that because it was too harsh, too hard. I couldn't take it daily, so I messaged them and I asked them, where do you grow that, because it's really high quality. I tried 10
so
or
it
15
was
types of
farm, yeah?
yes 10 or 15 ashwagandhas, and I don't like them. So I like your particular brand, and I'm building my own because I want to offer it in Georgia, and I have some ideas how I can improve it so I can take daily, because their brand I cannot take daily. It would make me drowsy, or it would blunt my emotions. It has a nuance. And all this I experimented on myself first before creating that. And I found a great farm in Sri Lanka, in mountains of Sri Lanka, and that's where we grow the ashwagandha. And the strain is the type of strain that has been used in Eastern medical practices, Eastern like folk medical practices for thousands of years. And I'm really proud what we have created, and we have thousands of happy clients.
Do we have in Georgia something what we can use and create a new kind of supplement?
I am not that versed into Georgian folk medicine, mainly because there is not good infrastructure when it comes to properly checking them on heavy metals, and it has to be grown on a fertile soil full of minerals and a good quality air, and there are so many factors that at our stage I didn't want that headache. But I'm sure there are many herbs that are traditional Georgian folk and that are beneficial for health. It just has nuance, and I'm very careful because I'm doing it with my name, under my name, and I'm really careful what I recommend to others.
So probably in the future you can create something with a traditional Georgian
Yes, that's
medicine.
possible as well, 100%.
Yeah.
If you have one, you can recommend.
Maybe in Svaneti they use a lot
Yes,
of
yes.
herbs to help their
100%.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very open to experimenting it first on my body and see if I feel better, if I notice any changes, and then I can offer to others as well. But feel free to recommend if you find something.
I will share with you.
Yes.
And I want to ask if you can change medicine. I mean, normal, our medicine, not traditional medicine. How you can change it? From what point you can start?
So that's my next plan. Down the line, I want to do that. The reason why I wrote my book, that was the original idea, was to really help physicians understand how they can have greater impact to their patients. And I have fundamental belief that in modern world, every doctor should approach healing their patients as a startup. I think they need to find a narrow street where they have purpose, where they have a sense of mission, and help others, really help others on the narrow street in a privately owned startup kind of sense, and practice out of industrial medical complex. Because we forget that, especially us doctors forget that, the education that we get at school, there is, who said that if you graduate from medical school, you have to go work for a giant corporation? Who said that? It's almost same like when you get a driver's license, you say to yourself, oh, I have to become a cab driver. Oh, all of a sudden it turns out that no, you can have your own car, right? And you can drive your own car with your driver's license. So what I recommend to all physicians is to, once they learn medicine, once they think fundamentally about human health when it comes to their mind, body, and once they really find something that resonates with them, which is purpose-driven, where they can help others, they can start their own startup and help others that way.
It's very difficult. So how to start your own startup? Can you give a piece of advice?
100%, of course. First of all, you need to find something that you have seen to be beneficial in your own life, or in your loved ones' lives. You found something that truly works, that you believe in, adds a level of purpose, and you're really coming from that abundant place that I have solved this problem for myself or for my loved ones. And I think that there might be other people who also have this problem, which I can help. And I think that world needs them. World needs such people who have really solved problems, and no longer have problems, or improve their lives, improve their health. They have a higher well-being, let's say. And I think they should feel free to help others, and do that in a startup fashion, because I do not believe that the industrial medical system will change anytime soon, because there is lots of corporate capital behind that, and lots of corporate interests for maintaining the system the way it is. And more diseased people get, more money the system makes. So there's literally no incentive to help people. So if physicians truly want to help people, we have all the tools. We live in, like AI age. You can do anything you want. You just have to have courage, purpose, and you don't have to know everything when you start. Just you have an intention to help others. If you have just one thing, 1% that determines 99% of results is right intention. Your heart at the right place. If you have that, people will see that, and eventually you will find a way to be self-sustaining, and you will no longer need the corporate medical job.
Yes. It's so interesting, and I think we need to meet again and explain a lot of other topics, interesting topics. And I want to invite all of you to Georgia, even to try our special supplements, and which will be available soon worldwide.
Yes.
I wish. And also to see our beautiful nature, mountains, rivers, sea, and amazing people who believe that you can change world, you can change people's life, and improve yourself. Just you need to believe this. Thank you. Don't forget subscribe if you like our podcast, and next time I will invite more interesting people from Georgia. Thank you. Thank you, Lasha.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.